Chris and Moses, and this video is dedicated to the homie, man, Sinful the P. Now, Sinful the P's brother, I'm gonna get out the dark. Sinful the P's brother, Freeze is it, man. Shout out to Freeze is it. I hope everybody is keeping Freeze is it in their prayers, because these are, hard times for Sinful's authentic family. Outside of his YouTube family, outside of his followers, outside of everybody who, said that they loved him and showed up for every live and things like that. These are trying times for people who actually got to interact with him and speak to him and share laughs, good times and bad times with him, man. But what Sinful the P taught me, all the times that I tried to call in and put my information out there, as far as that situation, Sinful the P was, well, let's just start here. A lot of people say that when you authentically love something, you want to teach about it. You want to speak about it with a passion that is really hard to control. But the thing about that is, Sin talked about life. In his own words, in totality. There was damn near nothing that you couldn't get Sinful fired up upon. Whether it be, yes, of course, women, yes, the game, yes, knowledge itself. But it could have been music, it could have been food, it could have been the city of Chicago, it could have been America, it could have been philosophy, his dreams, hopes, and aspirations, God, anything. And I think that speaks a lot to who Sin was as a person. Because the thing about it is, a lot of people, like I said in my previous videos, and this is gonna be the last one because I don't wanna seem like I'm riding any coattails, and I don't wanna keep on trying to put this information out there as if I'm trying to gain something. But I do want the other people who didn't know of his greatness and the people who did know of his greatness to understand my appreciation for this man. The thing about that is, when you, excuse me, when you can go into damn near any subject and have a fire and a passion about speaking about that particular subject, that means you have a great love for life. When knowledge is something that you value, then you value life, right? Something that my mother taught me way when I was young. When she would try to tell me something or teach me something, and I would say, "Oh, Ma, I don't want to learn about that. I don't care about that." She would tell me, "Son, don't ever say that you don't want to learn something, whatever subject it may be, because rejecting knowledge is accepting ignorance." And that's the type of doctrine that Sinful preached. Rejecting knowledge is accepting ignorance. So Sin would say, it's hard to get depressed, or you can't feel suicidal, you can't feel depressed, you can't go into certain states of mind because you have this game. When you read, when you collect certain knowledges, that trumps whatever emotion that you may be feeling. Because when you have a certain understanding about something, especially in different capacities and certain subjects, there's just no way you could feel depressed. There's no way that you could feel like removing your body from your soul. There's no way that you could feel like you're hopeless, because you have so much information, so much confidence, so much light, that there's really nothing that you can't do. It's really nothing that's stopping you. And I can understand why so many people feel and think that they're unstoppable, because that is what knowledge will truly do for you. And that's what Sin, to me, that's what he gave to me. Understanding that emotions are temporary. And a lot of people, not to say that you should not be taking your medication or going to therapy, a lot of people go through certain things when all you really have to do is read and go inside. I went on one of Sinful's lives on his Instagram, and I asked him, because guys, to keep it 100 with you, I have a drinking problem, right? And I asked him, Sin, what would you do, or what would you advise somebody to do if they had a drinking problem, they couldn't stop smoking cigarettes? And he said, the first thing that you have to do is sincerely want to stop doing that, reach to a higher power, and have an understanding of why you want to do that. And ultimately, when it came to the simplicity of that answer, it really hurt me, because it felt like, bro, it's so simple, but it's so sinful for you to say something like that at the end of the day. And the thing about that is, the energy and the solutions that we get from the inner urban community and that slave culture that we come from as a black people, shout out to the whites, shout out to the Latinos and everybody else, the Asians and things, the indigenous people. But as a black people, we have to understand that it's really not that complicated. It's really not that bad. It's really not that complicated, and it's really not that bad. And you might have to take somebody who just has a love for life. Now, what I was going to go into, I'm still going to go into it because I've spoken on it before. Sinful's haters, they were haters of life. When you make yourself the embodiment of a true lover, a true appreciator of life, you have a certain capacity of what you can do. You can only have a certain character. You can only express so much negativity if you authentically love life for what it is. And that's life. When you have a certain amount of knowledge, when you take the time out your day to study and learn yourself, mind, body, and soul, you can only have so much negativity that you're willing to express and willing to accept and actually acknowledge and feel and experience. You can only go as low as you allow yourself to go. And knowledge and understanding that thinking, meditating is the best thing that you could do with your time. When you understand that, collecting knowledge and organizing it and exercising your creativity and becoming whole, mind, body, and soul, spirit, understanding growth, understanding why mental yoga is necessary. It's really nothing that you can't do. Now, let's go back to this yoga, right? Not to go too deep on you, but when I was studying yoga, it said that, I forgot what book I got it from, but the purpose of yoga is to make sure that if something were to happen to you physically, your body could withstand it because you're already flexible. So, for example, if someone were to fall down some stairs, if you're constantly doing yoga, you're not going to be as injured as somebody who does not work out or does not do yoga. Okay? But mentally, reading these books, studying these lectures, studying these great speakers, that's mental yoga. So when something happens to you in life, you will be mentally flexible. If you socialize enough while you do your daily hour, 2-3 hours of reading, and you actually combine that with socializing, that's mental yoga, emotional yoga. So being flexible, being capable of adjusting to any situation. If you study different people's doctrines, spiritually, mentally, socially, you will be able to respond accordingly. I'm not trying to speak like the bro RIP, but that's definitely something that I picked up on. But at the end of the day, what I do want to say is the people that hated on sin were some imbalanced ass people. The people who hated on sin were haters of life, haters of themselves. Because that's all he taught, was to love life, be an artist, be a creator. Be a creator while being the creation, while giving all praise to the to the creator. Excuse me. Understanding that if you embody life, if you have a great prayer relationship, if you have a great relationship with whatever God that you worship, then nothing Nothing can stop you. When you worship life, when he said game, I always thought life, because life is about learning. Life is about experiencing all the states, all the countries that he's traveled to. This is the life of somebody that was rich. Rich meaning abundance. When you feel like you can't, your life is not going to change because you got rejected by the baddest or the most knowledgeable or the most attractive in this department, your mood is not going to change. Your life is not going to change. Your motivation, your inspiration, your hunger for life is not going to change. Being unchangeable, being unmovable is very important. Abundance. And I get it, and I got it, and that's why we all loved Sinful the P. And if you didn't learn that, I mean, everybody learned that, because even his haters were sinful vampires. Because we could all see there's not one hater, there's not one naysayer, there's not one person who has spoken down or tried to speak against Sinful that has not took something out of his playbook. And if you can show me one, they're probably not successful. Everybody who's successful in some capacity that has made a negative video of Sinful the P was a fan of him. There's not one, whether it be the Saint and the Silly, whether it be Miss Dice, Dyson Campbell, whether it be anybody, even Lil Kelpie, anybody. But I do want to say, long live Sin. I hope you learned what I learned, and if you didn't, you missed the whole point. Life is to be enjoyed. There's nothing in life that's permanent that's going to make your life worse forever. It's all about that transmutation. It's all about understanding yourself and understanding that knowledge, emotion, putting your desire with your knowledge, with your emotion to be a better person. And whatever you do, whether you're a square, whether you're a circle, a triangle, whatever it may be, do it. That was horrible. At the end of the day, let me end it, okay. Life is to be enjoyed. And your strength comes from the joy of doing what makes you happy. Let no one judge you without righteous judgment. And when you truly want to change your life, have an outstanding understanding of the consequences of those actions. Make sure you give Fiji water to your body, because we only have now, today to pee. If you truly want to make a change, start with yourself and end with your community. That's it, man. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the bang, you the bang, we the bang together, man. Life is in the breath, and breathe it in. R.I.P. Sinful the P. Peace.